Welcome in, idiots and sinners. We are here for a very special episode. Unfortunately, as many of you know, we had to say goodbye to my father, Jeff, who unfortunately left us after we recorded this episode. My dad was so special to me, to many of us, including Adam, and a lot of you sinners and idiots that got to know him over the years. My dad, as you know, was a huge sports fan. Grew up, him taking me to many a baseball game, and took me to many games that I played myself right over here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Dad, this one's for you.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. This is Season 2. New episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's Wednesday. It's Little League World Series time, and so we were talking with Miles before recording this show about all the famous players that have graced the Little League World Series. It got us thinking of what players have played in all three World Series, so we'll get into that. But Miles, tell me some of your favorite guys who have come through the Little League World Series.
Danny Almonte comes to mind. Monet Davis, she flamed out pretty quick.
How old was he? Yeah,
I'm Dane. $20? Yep, he's 10. Checks out. And he start playing Gasolina in the background. Hey, that guy almost made it to the majors anyway. So he still played some minor league ball. He was still good. But gassing 12-year-olds with 85-mile-an-hour fastballs, not legal. But it's funny because now in 2025, you do have 12-year-olds throwing that gas. They're just not allowed to throw 125 pitches a game anymore. There's actually stipulations on that.
Quick question. Did you know that there was an issue, not identical to Danny Almonte, but did you know about Miguel Tejada?
No. Fill us in.
So Miguel Tejada had a similar issue that they didn't have his birth certificate even in the majors, and that like there was a point where they didn't exactly know how old he was, and he just said like, I'm 23. Like it was like, okay, well, he plays a good shortstop and he can hit the ball. You're all right. You're batting third. You're batting third tonight. Suit up.
We don't know if you can work in the United States legally. Do you have your I-797 form?
Can you hit the curve? Care. This guy even hits a slider. I don't care.
Get this man his green card now.
If he batted 219 and averaged an error per game, I don't think we would be discussing it. But yeah, wild. All right, so
nice his ass.
Here are some names. The first name that we instantly kind of lit up when we were talking through this is Todd Frazier. And so you brought up, without looking anything up, Toms River, New Jersey. And I remember you were not there. I remember I remember watching, and there's so many, like, all these kids. I love how they have like not their walk-up song, but like their little intros, and it'll say he's 13, his favorite actress is Jennifer Aniston, and his favorite team is the Milwaukee Brewers, and his favorite player is Prince Fielder. And like they'll have his little bio and everything, and you don't know who this kid's gonna be, and then he plays
my name's Big Al and I hit dingers.
Yeah, like you have these kids that are so like larger than life at 13. You always have the overpowering kid who's like, okay, like you see clips on Instagram reels of Prince Fielder at like 9 years old, 232 pounds, like
he was
at
still
Tiger Stadium. He was and his dad just watch it, like
he drove his wife and kids to the ballpark. He had a beer in hand. It's still sitting in the center console.
he's stressing because he's got to take out a second mortgage. He doesn't know
He ain't
how
making
he's
that
gonna.
money yet.
Yeah.
Not making the dough, just
Yankees,
eating it.
the Yankees need to offer. Yeah, where's Brian Cashman when you need him? But yeah, so 1998. That's that was a great year. Again, hit a home run and pitched in the championship game. I mean, sheesh.
And that was the Little League World Series that set it onto the trajectory that it is today. The games were still on ABC, but for one, no one really cared about it, and two, the games weren't really televised as much as they are today, where it's a huge dog and pony show, and they're almost getting to the point where they're going to start broadcasting state games. Like the regional games are already on ESPN and on the Deuce as is, and most people are like, "Oh, the World Series on already." No, we're still 2 weeks away from that. Now it's every single game, even the consolation games where a team's already been eliminated. They're just given that 3-game guarantee, like you'd see in AAU, where Australia's playing against Uganda in two teams that's already been eliminated, but it's still being played at Volunteer Stadium on ESPN too, because what else is on anyways midday on August 18th?
Right, right. A random like mid-August day.
Yeah.
Like what else is going on?
So the Japanese and Chinese Taipei always dominated, and with the U.S. obviously under the guise of Todd Frazier, who would go on to be who he was for the Reds and White Sox, made it famous with the massive home run and the huge. I believe it was a walk off. They won that game on a walk off, or at the very least came down to the 6th inning. And with Tom's River, then the East, when there was only like 4 U.S. regions and 4 international regions, and now there's freaking 20 some teams in the tournament now. How it grew, and it all stemmed from that 1998 Little League World Series.
Now, Todd Frazier is in a really cool list. He played in 2 of the 3 World Series. There is the Little League, the college, and of course the major leagues. And
the
Barry Larkin, yeah, the World Series. But Gary Sheffield and Barry Larkin also have played.
That's right.
In the Little League World Series and have played in the World Series, but only a few players can say that they've played in the Little League World Series, the trifecta, if you will.
The Little League World Series.
Yeah. And that's an interesting list. And at the top of it, I'm going to put Jason Varitek on there. There's 3 guys, but Fair. Jason Varitek was the captain, El Capitano, for the Red Sox. And it was a big deal when they won because you were not there when they won last before. You absolutely
1918. He was on the 1918.
I was there. I was there. I'll tell you, Sonny. No, you were not. So Dane Cook has this bit that before he was played out and like thrown out of comedy, Dane Cook has a bit where he said, "Yeah, I broke up with a girlfriend because she was too. I couldn't follow her stories. They just frustrated me. Dane, I got home tonight and I took like 1,000-hour nap. No, you did not. That was a coma. Did you take a coma? It's like the same. No, you were not there in 1918. So Jason Varitek, 1984, Almonte Springs, Florida is where he played. And then Georgia Tech in 94. So shout out to the techies of Georgia. And then, of
They're
course,
called Yellow Jackets.
Yes. And then, of course, we all know the Red Sox. But pretty cool for a guy like Jason Varitek. I cannot find. You could search the internet for negative stories on Jason Varitek. I don't think you're going to come across any, and that's kind of just cool. And then Michael Conforto. So here's a funny thing about Michael Conforto. In MLB The Show, in Dynasty mode, for 5 straight years, it just so happened I traded for Michael Conforto every single year. And in my mind, I swear to you, this is real. And like in my mind, he's like a San Francisco Giant, and he's absolutely not. It's just very wild.
To you,
like,
it's personal to you.
And it's very weird. He did hit 2 home runs in Game 4 of the 2015 World Series.
Okay.
So he was, that was the Mets versus the Royals. And then Oregon State, I believe those are the Beavers.
The Bees. The Bees.
Beavs. And
They've won a
then
couple World Series.
Redmond, Washington, 2004. I was there.
Oh, in the Northwest.
Yeah. So 2004, 2013, and 14, and then 2015. Not a bad career for the series of a one Michael Conforto.
But the
for
best
your San
part
Francisco
of his
Giants.
You're right. The best part of his career, every single season, getting
MLB
signed
The
by a
Show.
one. That reminds me of like when I played NFL Madden 2004, probably the greatest Madden of all time. I signed Plaxico Burress, pre-self-inflicted wound, gunshot wound. Every time Plaxico Burress all the time, just steady stat stuffer right there in a video game.
Now, the guy who has been the first ever to complete the trifecta is Ed Vosberg. In 1973, he was with Tucson, Arizona, and then 7 years later, 1 year before I was born, University of University. Yeah, that's
North, south, east, western of
He's
Arizona.
Really intelligent. He's really intelligent. University of Arizona in 1980, they were the national champs. And then in 97 with your Florida Marlins.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
that one
I would
not have had on my bingo card.
Yeah. Other guys who have played that you may know, one Cody Bellinger. Played 2007 in Chandler, Arizona. And then he was the 2019 NL MVP. I'll be honest, I forget that. Because he had such a swoon after. He batted like 135 for 8 years after that.
But he still writes on that. We all remember him for all his many year of greatness.
So, Lance Lynn, power pitcher from Brownsburg, Indiana, by the way. Don't know if you knew that.
I did not.
So, pretty durable guy. Cardinals, White Sox, Yankees, I think, Rangers and Dodgers he played for. Not a bad pitcher.
Keep going. Just keep going, Adam.
Jason Marquis. Jason Marquis played for 15 years in the bigs.
Not all bad.
Now we talked MLB The Show, San Francisco Giants. Here is an actual San Francisco Giant. In 1994 in Venezuela, Yasmero Petit played in the Little League, and then was World Series champion. His claim to fame. He took a perfect game into, I believe it was the 8th inning with the Giants. And I remember they cut away to when I love watching the MLB Network, they'll cut away in regular season when something is going on. I remember that's how I caught Matt Cain's perfect game. By the 7th inning, they had cut away and they're showing every at bat, right? So they were doing that, and so disappointing he didn't get the perfect game. Another name though, you may know, Colby Rasmus, decent player.
Mm-hmm.
In 99, played for Alabama.
When was the last time they made a World Series? You don't think of them.
No kidding. So, man, the Little League World Series, there is absolutely, the way I said that there is not a negative story about Jason Varitek, I don't think there's anything negative that you can say about the Little League World Series. It is everything about sports that we love. You cannot take your eyes off it when you're flipping channels. You're like, oh, the Little League World Series is on. It's Taipei. It's Chinese. It's Chinese Taipei versus, Venezuela. And then after that, Nebraska plays them.
Nebraska, the Midwest team, who always sucks. The Midwest team has had one good team it was actually this last season. It has always been just completely dumb because it's always the West or the Southeast or the Southwest that are just out there hammering the rest of the American teams. But hey, baby, Rhode Island made it this year.
Yeah. Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island. Yeah.
Nor are they good at baseball.
Follow Sports Idiot Nation wherever you get your social media. Remember, for season 2, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which means we will see you Friday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
You would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.